The need to argue is a product of fear. Hey guys, it's John here. I have a very long comment here that I definitely want to respond to. So bear with me as I read this comment because it argues against itself all the way through it. But let me hop on. I have a question for you, and I apologize that it doesn't have anything to do with your video. You never have to apologize. I ask for questions below videos, and so it doesn't have to do with the video. This is the way I prefer to get my comments. It's much easier for me to find them and create them. So if you have a question, don't worry about it being involved with the videos. Just put the question underneath videos, and and if you really want to help, you could put either the word question or all of it in all caps, and then I'll be able to see it even better. So let me show. I just have to ask this question because it sounds even feeling so counterintuitive. And feeling so counterintuitive. But somehow I feel that my soul's mission is to be a fighter, to argue, to teach people how to argue, to teach people it's okay to stand up and say no. Does that make sense? I've spent most of my life as a codependent living among narcissists, trying to get along, trying to appease them, all the while allowing them to walk all over me and getting angry. I now feel that that was part of my soul's purpose. But now I just feel this codependent, weak, dying, weenie energy all around me, and I feel like people need to actually fight against that energy. People need to claim their sovereignty as part of their ascension. They aren't going to get from the bottom rungs of the energy ladder where they're helpless victims to the top self-actualization without getting a little kick-ass mad. Am I wrong? Should I just be meditating myself to a higher plane? I don't think so. I feel like I did that, and much like people who got sent back after NDEs, I feel like serenity, peace, and non-resistance are not my path. Certainly I believe in Thaddeus Golas's love as much as you can. Love as much as you can from wherever you are. I just don't think this is the season of love. I think this is the season of just say no and stand your ground. What do you think? P.S. I'm not asking for personal advice. I mean this more as a general philosophical question as whether there ever is a time when resistance is the right path, personally or for humanity. I love this question for lots of reasons. Even your last P.S., I'm not asking for personal advice, and that's just because you don't want me to hear my personal advice, because you would take it as a me trying to tell you what to do because you would like to argue. I respect where you are, and I truly mean that. I truly respect where you are, but I do believe that that what you resist persists. If you fight against something, you're going to get a fight. And when they asked Mother Teresa if she was going to go to an anti-war rally, she said, no, have a pro-peace rally and I'll come. So when you focus on anti-war or fighting against, you're actually creating a position of escalation. You're going to lean up and get mad and scream and holler and yell. They're going to escalate. And it's going to escalate and escalate and escalate and escalate. I have had a man standing in my face pointing at me, calling me a mother effer, and I exhaled. The key isn't to be a quote unquote weenie, as you say, and subjugate yourself to them. That's not at all what Jeshua taught. He said, don't be involved. Don't be involved with their anger. Don't be involved with their energy. Someone tries to subjugate you. No one can subjugate you without you giving them permission to subjugate you. You're the one who gives up. I have learned so many times over and over again that for me, I just exhale in those moments when they try to subjugate me, and I just don't give them what they want. I don't have to argue. I don't have to fight. I don't have to put myself in a negative mood to get where I want. And I've been all over the world, and I've spoken to all different cultures and all different kinds of people. And I've been married to people who are absolutely narcissists, and I have given myself up for them, and have learned that lesson very well. And the lesson I learned was the madder I got, the worse my life got. Because the worse my life got is because I was creating mad into my life. When I let them go and cut the anchors of them and decided that I'm going to live my life and not theirs, I didn't have to be mad. In fact, the very nature of saying I am joyfully living my life cuts them out. And when you literally don't subjugate to them, you stop giving them what they want. When you get mad, you're actually giving them exactly what they want. They want you to fight. They want you to stick around and be in their face and get angry about things. Turn the other cheek does not mean be a wuss. It means be strong enough to not subjugate yourself to their whims. And if you're arguing and fighting back, now, let me say this. If you're in an abusive relationship, leave it for the love of yourself. But the more you focus on them and give them that power of being focused on the anger and the fighting and the arguing, you're just going to live a life of anger, fighting, and arguing. The other thing is you literally say that the world is not in a place of love. You are not in a place of love. The world is getting more and more loving every day, and I have seen that everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. Humanity is raising to a level of love that has never been seen before on this earth. And the people who are loud and obnoxious and getting crazy about it are doing so because they're losing grips. They're losing control because the love is starting to win out. And what's interesting is you're succumbing to all the fears and the anxieties that you see on the news. Turn the news off. Turn the news off and choose to be love. John was called the beloved because that was his message. Be love. Joshua's last lines, I leave you one commandment, love one another. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for a narcissist is to be the consequence of leaving. But that's not arguing or fighting against him. That's not giving him the thing to lord over or be powered over. That's loving yourself enough to walk away. But you don't have to stay invested in that expression. And you're talking about the great ascension here. And one of the lines you say in here is allowing them to walk all over me. That is an absolutely true statement. You allowed them to walk all over you. You allowed them to walk all over you. But you're giving them power in allowing them to walk over you, and you're still giving them power to argue against them. Just walk away from them. Just walk away. You don't have to be invested in them or any of their crap. That's not arguing. That's just saying, I am living a loving life, and that's not loving, so I'm leaving. The whole point of this fighting against thing, you're just perpetuating the argument. You're perpetuating the fighting. And I completely disagree with the whole thing of the world is not in a place of love. It's in a place of getting kick-ass mad. And you asked me the question, am I wrong? But you forgot to put a question mark there. Am I wrong? Bam. Literally, it is a statement in your question. I don't mean that to mock you for that, but you actually make that as a statement, right? And it's interesting because I believe you are. I believe you are wrong in this regard. But that's my belief. I don't have to believe what you believe because I'm living a joyful, loving life, and I'm not. You almost never see me mad. And when I get mad, I go, what's the fear that's associated with this madness? And your fear in this whole entire statement is the fear of being subjugated. It's the fear of them not respecting you or loving you. And in reality, that's your choice. And I won't live that way because of the fact that I don't want to live a life mad and kick-ass mad, to be precise. And you're looking at this in a very black and white experience. You're saying, meditating myself to a higher plane. I don't believe you don't have to meditate to do anything. You just have to be love in the present moment. Meditation is just a tool that people use. There's no reason to meditate. There's no reason to meditate at all. Dalai Lama said the best meditation was sleep. The key isn't meditation. The key is no method, modality, technique, or anything. The key is choosing to be love and being it in the here and now. And so when I see this statement, and And I just don't think it's the season of love. That's right. You don't think that. That's your belief. I think it's the season of just say no and stand your ground. That's because you believe that you need to fight against the world because you don't want to be. And that actual line is just say no and stand your ground. That's you coming to the space of saying, I'm not being subjugated because you're focused on subjugation. You're focused on people taking advantage of you. Let go of that. Let go of the focus on that. Don't focus on anti-war. Focus on pro-peace and go live pro-peace. And that's really my answer to this question. And I'm sure my tone sounds harsh. I look at this whole question here in the aspect of how Jeshua would. Jeshua would be like, just be love, because it would solve everything for you. Be love doesn't mean being afraid of being subjugated. Don't be love isn't focusing on what they're doing to you. Be love is just loving yourself enough and them enough to walk away, so neither one of you are having the issue. And so, to me, that's my answer to this question. And you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See you. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. The John of New channel is solely funded by your generous donations and purchases of private readings and merchandise. To help out, go to johnofnew.com or use the donation link in the description below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.